Let's be honest, nobody expected practice to go viral. But then again, this is Shedeur Sanders we're talking about. And when Shedeur steps onto the field, nothing is ordinary. Nothing is casual. Everything is a statement. So, when news broke that Shedeur lit up Browns practice just days ahead of their Week 1 clash with the Cincinnati Bengals, it didn't just trend. It erupted. One deep bomb. One no-look pass. One perfectly placed sideline laser that made even the veterans stop mid-rep.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
That's all it took. Phones were out. Tweets were flying. Group chats across Cleveland were lighting up. Because in a quarterback room full of maybes, Shedeur Sanders just looked like a definite. And here's the kicker, he's not even supposed to play yet. Let's talk about that. Right now, Shedeur is technically buried behind layers of NFL experience. But if you think he's content holding a clipboard until Week 10, you haven't been paying attention. This isn't a player waiting for a chance. This is a quarterback manufacturing momentum. He's not knocking on the door. He's building a runway. Kevin Stefanski sees it. You can tell. Sure, he's keeping things tight-lipped publicly, but the fact that he spent his off day at the Ohio State versus Texas game? That's a message. Coaches don't just watch for fun this time of year. They're scouting. They're tracking trends. They're thinking 5 moves ahead. And while the college crowd was losing its mind over Arch Manning, the latest Heisman darling who hasn't even taken a college snap yet, Stefanski already has something rare and real developing under his own roof. You can feel the contrast. Arch has hype. Shedeur has footage. Arch has projections. Shedeur has production. And what's wild? Despite it all, Shedeur's still being treated like the underdog. That quiet, simmering disrespect that's been following him since draft day hasn't gone anywhere. And he knows it. You can see it in how he moves. He's sharper, more precise, more intentional. He's not just learning the playbook, he's learning the game. The culture, the politics, the rhythm of professional football. Every rep, every throw, every audible is a data point in his long-term takeover. Because let's be real, the Browns' QB situation? It's chaos on a good day. Rotations. Speculation. Mysterious depth chart shuffles. It's a room built on uncertainty. And that's exactly why Shedeur is the most dangerous man in it. He's not looking to survive the chaos. He's waiting to capitalize on it. And if you've ever watched how stories unfold in the NFL, you know this one's practically writing itself. A talented rookie bides his time. The vets struggle. The team needs a spark. And just like that, the kid with the crown logo walks into the huddle. Not by chance. By design. Because the preparation started months ago. The mindset? Already there. The patience? Quiet. Focused. Dangerous. And let's be clear, this isn't about skipping steps. It's about owning them. Shedeur's not asking for a shortcut. He's showing everyone what it looks like when you're ready before your number is called. That's why the veterans are taking notice. That's why coaches keep sneaking glances. And that's why, when it finally happens, it won't feel like a gamble. It'll feel like destiny. Week 1 is almost here. And while the Bengals are prepping for the usual suspects, Browns fans are refreshing their feeds, hoping to catch a glimpse of number 7 in motion. Because deep down, everyone knows. This kid isn't just part of the future. He's the future. And the future? Just went viral. Because here's the thing, when you go viral in the NFL, at practice, no less, you're not just making a splash. You're making a statement. And Shedeur Sanders just sent one loud and clear. I'm not here to learn the league. I'm here to own it. Let's not downplay how rare this is. Most rookie QBs? They get buried in developmental reps. They run the scout team. They barely get to toss a screen pass unless the entire depth chart collapses in front of them. But Shedeur? He's treating every snap like it's Sunday night football. You can see it in his footwork. You can hear it in the velocity of his throws. You can feel it in the way the energy shifts during drills. He's not performing, he's announcing. And now, the Browns' quarterback situation is feeling a little tense. Because while the coaching staff is towing the usual PR line, we're sticking with the plan. He's still developing, one step at a time. The fans. Oh, they've already skipped ahead a few chapters. They've seen enough flashes in practice clips and insider tweets to start asking dangerous questions. Why isn't he getting reps with the first team? Why does he look more composed than the backups? Why does the ball leave his hand like that? Those aren't casual observations. They're indictments. And for a franchise that has fumbled the quarterback position more times than we can count, no shade, just facts. The clock is already ticking. You get one Shedeur Sanders moment before it becomes a movement. And when it does, you either lean in or you get left behind. Because what Shedeur's building is more than buzz. It's more than social media clips. Trust. Trust from his teammates. From the fans. From the very people who are sick and tired of watching the Browns shoot themselves in the foot with underwhelming QB play. This kid doesn't just want the opportunity, he's preparing like he knows it's inevitable. And honestly, that's what separates him. He's not hoping to be great someday. He's expecting it. And that changes everything. Let's talk mentality. While other rookies are still adjusting to the pace of the game, Shedeur's already playing chess with the pocket. You watch his dropbacks, and there's no hesitation. No panic. Just rhythm. When the protection breaks down, he rolls out and resets like he's on a playground in South Dallas, not in front of 60,000 fans and a mic'd-up defensive line. That poise? That presence? That's not something you teach in minicamp. That's pedigree. That's what happens when your dad is prime time and your mindset is all gas, no brakes. And maybe that's why the locker room is warming up to him faster than anyone expected. Players know real. They can smell insecurity from a mile away. But Shedeur? He walks in like he's got stock options in greatness. He knows the narrative. He knows the stakes. And he's not afraid of either. Now let's talk about timing. Week 1 against the Bengals is coming fast. Everyone's watching Joe Burrow and wondering if this is the year Cincinnati finally goes all the way. But on the other sideline, there's a storm brewing. Not in the playbook. In the possibility. The possibility that the Browns are holding back their ace for just the right moment. The possibility that behind the helmets and film sessions, there are real conversations happening in meeting rooms. Conversations like, what if we need a spark? What if the offense stalls? What if it's time? What if the guy we drafted as a future project is actually the present? And when that moment comes, and you know it will, Shedeur won't need a warm-up. He won't need a grace period. He's been treating practice like his audition tape from day one. He's already earned the trust. Now he's just waiting for the keys. And let's not forget the big picture here. This isn't just about the Cleveland Browns. It's about the entire NFL ecosystem watching what happens when a rookie takes control of his narrative before the league writes it for him. Every throw he makes in practice goes viral. Every Instagram story gets dissected. Every Nike-branded sideline towel becomes a topic on sports radio. Shedeur isn't just another QB prospect. He's a cultural event, with cleats. So what happens when you take that level of cultural gravity and put it under center? You change the entire arc of a franchise. And make no mistake, if and when Shedeur Sanders starts a regular season game for the Browns, it will be the most anticipated quarterback debut since Mahomes took the reins in Kansas City. That's not hype, that's reality. Because the fans are starving for a quarterback who feels built for this moment. And Shedeur? He's not just built for it. He's made it his mission. Let's wrap this with something real. The NFL loves to crown its chosen ones. The Golden Boys. The 5-star prospects. The media darlings. But every now and then, someone crashes the party. Someone who was told to wait, to develop, to be patient. And instead, they walk in and flip the whole table. That's Shedeur. And whether it's week 10, week 4, or next Sunday, the Browns better be ready. Because the crown isn't coming. It's already here. And it fits him perfectly. Because at this point, the Shedeur Sanders saga is starting to feel less like a rookie storyline and more like the first act of a dynasty origin story. And while the Browns might not be used to being the center of national buzz for anything other than heartbreak or helmet-throwing controversies, suddenly, they're sitting on a goldmine. A quarterback with presence, pedigree, and a viral fanbase before he's even taken a professional snap. Let that sink in. You have quarterbacks in this league with years of experience who still haven't built the kind of magnetic attention Shedeur commands just by showing up to practice with a new visor, or a fresh pair of cleats, or a subtle smirk after dropping a 40-yard dime in a joint scrimmage. This isn't just media hype. It's movement, and it's snowballing. Because Shedeur isn't here to just play the game, he's here to shift the culture. You can feel it in the locker room, where rookies and vets alike are starting to lean into his energy. You can hear it in press conferences, where reporters casually slip in questions about #7's development, like they're planting seeds. And you can definitely feel it in the fan base, where patience is running thin with the idea of waiting until week 10. People want to see him now. And here's where things get really interesting. We're not just watching a football situation unfold. We're watching a business and brand opportunity play out in real time, and the Browns are sitting on a branding storm so potent that it's forcing their front office to ask some uncomfortable but necessary questions. Questions like, what's the cost of keeping him off the field? Are we missing the moment by delaying the inevitable? What does it say to our fans if we're not willing to ride the wave they're already on? Let's not pretend this is all about X's and O's. It's never just football. It's perception, momentum, timing. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is sitting at the perfect intersection of all three. Remember, this is a player who's not just doing work in film rooms and practice fields. He's also quietly re-engineering how young athletes carry themselves in the spotlight. Every interview? Measured. Intentional. Every social media post? Strategic. Relatable. Marketable. Every move? Calculated. He's walking the line between focused athlete and rising media icon, and doing it without losing the locker room. That's rare. Most young players can't handle one of those things, let alone both. But Shedeur? He's finding balance in the chaos. And that, right there, is what real leaders do. So while the Browns continue to run their QB carousel and keep reporters guessing with cryptic, "we'll see" comments, one thing is becoming abundantly clear. They're not hiding Shedeur. They're incubating him. And that's different. Because when you incubate a talent like this, when you let him develop under pressure without throwing him to the wolves too early, what you're really doing is building a bomb. And when it goes off, it's not going to be a surprise. It's going to be the loudest "I told you so" in recent NFL memory. Let's talk impact for a second. The Browns start off slow. Say they drop 2 of their first 3. The fan base will scream for change, not because the other quarterbacks failed, but because they've seen the alternative warming up on the sidelines. And when he finally steps in, oh, you better believe it'll be prime time. Whether it's a Thursday night face-off, a late-season divisional clash, or a nationally televised game with playoff implications, the cameras will be locked in. The commentators will be circling stats. The announcers will be running legacy montages. And you'll be watching history unfold. Because this isn't just about a rookie QB getting a shot. It's about the cultural ascension of a player who never waited for permission. Shedeur has already proven he can control the media cycle without throwing a pass. Now imagine what happens when he starts winning games. Let me paint that picture. The Browns, notorious for instability, suddenly find themselves with the most talked-about player in the league. Jerseys flying off the shelves. Social media exploding. Prime time, the father, sitting front row and glowing with that classic, "told y'all" energy. And Shedeur? Focused. Unbothered. He drops 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, scrambles for a key first down, and walks off the field like it was just another Thursday practice. Because for him, while the world was just waking up to Shedeur, he's been preparing for this moment for years. Quietly. Diligently. Without chasing the headlines. Now that they're chasing him, he's not speeding up. He's staying right on tempo. Let's not forget, this is the same guy who turned down premature endorsements, bypassed early cash grabs, and stayed locked in when others would have chased clout. But because he's not interested in being famous. He's interested in being great. And that's why his moment will last longer than just a viral practice clip or a flashy debut. Because this isn't the climax, it's the introduction. So if you're still wondering whether Shedeur Sanders is legit, you're asking the wrong question. The question now is, how long until the league adjusts to him? Because Shedeur's not adjusting to anyone. He's playing his own game, moving at his own pace, and rewriting the path of what it means to be a quarterback in 2025. Not just on the field, but off it. Let's ride this wave all the way through, because once the Shedeur effect kicks in, it doesn't slow down. It escalates. It multiplies. It reshapes everything in its path. And now, it's pushing right into the heart of Cleveland. Look around. This is a city that's been begging for a savior under center for decades. They've cheered for cast-offs, clung to one-season wonders, and lived through more false starts than any fan base should have to endure. But now they've got someone different. Someone who doesn't just look the part, he redefines it. Someone who walks onto the field like the lights were made for him. And the Browns? They're sitting on a quarterback with superstar energy before he's even been given the ball. That's rare. That's lightning in a bottle rare. But here's where it gets real. This isn't just a Shedeur Sanders moment, it's a Shedeur Sanders movement. You see it in the merch flying off shelves with his logo stitched front and center. You hear it in high school players across the country dropping SS7 in their Instagram bios. You feel it in the way analysts on national shows dance around his name because they don't want to admit what the fans already know. He's coming. They'll praise other rookies. They'll spin stories around flashier names. But deep down, everyone's watching Cleveland. Everyone's watching the Browns' QB room. Everyone's waiting for the inevitable. And the reason they're waiting is because Shedeur isn't just competing for a starting spot. He's commanding a narrative. He's what happens when talent meets timing meets total brand control. Let's break that down. Talent? Undeniable. We've all seen the arm. We've seen the poise. The mobility. The discipline in the pocket. He's not raw potential. He's refined. A quarterback who processes like a vet but moves like a highlight reel. That's not luck. That's years of pressure, performance, and patience paying off. Timing? Couldn't be more perfect. The Browns are unpredictable. The QB room is unsettled. The fans are restless. And Shedeur? He's calm in the middle of all of it, just stacking plays, stacking reps, stacking receipts. And brand control? Forget it. This guy is playing chess while half the league's still playing Madden. He doesn't just do media. He owns it. Every time he speaks, it's measured. Every clip is strategic. Every tweet is intentional. Because Shedeur knows, in today's NFL, the game isn't just played on the field. It's played in the timeline, in the headlines, in the hearts of fans. And he's already winning. Now let's talk future. Because when Shedeur steps onto that field, and he will, it won't be some fluke substitution or desperation play. It'll be a calculated move by a coaching staff that finally realizes what they have on their hands. Not just a quarterback. A franchise shifter. And once that happens, good luck putting him back on the bench. You think fans are going to settle for mediocrity once they've seen what Shedeur can do with a clean pocket and a 2-minute drill? You think social media is going to stop when the next viral clip hits? When he outduels a division rival? When he starts converting third downs that haven't been converted in years? Please. This isn't the kind of magic you bottle up and ration. This is the kind of energy that takes over a season. And yeah, there will be doubters. There always are. The ones who'll say he hasn't played enough downs, hasn't seen enough blitzes, hasn't paid his dues. But you know what they're really saying? They're scared. Scared of how quickly he's taken the spotlight. Scared of how comfortable he looks wearing it. Scared that a rookie with a crown on his chest might just upend the entire quarterback hierarchy. Because let's be honest, the NFL loves its structure. Loves its hierarchies. Loves its slow-developing storylines. But Shedeur? He's not waiting for Act 3. He's rewriting the script in real time. So where does this all go? Well, what happens if the Browns start winning with him? What happens if the stadium starts chanting his name before kickoff? What happens if his jersey becomes the best-selling rookie QB jersey in the league by mid-season? What happens if he becomes the face of the Browns? Not in 2 years, not next season, but now. That's not just a quarterback controversy. That's a culture change. And honestly, It's exactly what this franchise needs. For too long, Cleveland has played it safe. Conservative play calling. Measured PR statements. Press conferences full of, "We're taking it 1 week at a time." But Shedeur doesn't do safe. He doesn't do small. He doesn't do wait your turn. He's the shot of adrenaline this team, and this league, didn't know it needed. So here's what you do. If you're the Browns, you lean in. You build around him. You stop trying to fit him into the old mold and start building a new one with his name on it. If you're a fan, you buckle up, because the roller coaster is leaving the station and where it's going. Straight to prime time. And if you're a hater, well, keep tweeting. Because Shedeur? He's not reading your takes. He's too busy preparing for his moment. And when it arrives, he won't just walk through that door. He'll kick it off the hinges. Welcome to the Shedeur Sanders era. Hope you're ready.